Lately, what I've learned through going to the gym has been that I can train harder, way harder than I think I can. Okay, so I've always trained hard, at least the general definition of hard. If you look at all my training videos, every single set is pretty much taken to failure or even beyond failure for most sets. My friends know I train hard. The people I train with, they know I go crazy when I train, especially on leg day. But the thing is, I can train harder, and I have trained harder, and there's quite literally no limit to how hard you can train. So many of you watching this video think you train hard. You probably do. Okay, for the conventional belief of training hard, what people generally think training hard means, even in the lifting community, like people think training hard means going to failure, going beyond failure, partial reps, drop sets, yeah, all that stuff. That's cool. If you do that stuff, that's cool. But truly training hard is another animal. Like, I could not believe today what I did. I was doing hack squats. It was leg day. I was doing hack squats. I already done adductor and abductor machines for 3 sets each. I done 5 sets of lying hamstring curls and 5 sets of leg extensions, both very hard. Like, I went to failure and beyond on all of them, drop sets and everything. Then after that, I went to hack squats, and well, first I did back squats. I did 2 sets of back squats. I was unbelievably weak. Unbelievably weak. I squatted 445 for 5 reps. I could not even get 365 for 5. Like, think about that. Yes, it was because I pre-exhausted with the sets before it. And it's because of the fact that I've been dieting for 2 months now. Obviously, dieting and cutting, you're going to be extremely weak. You're going to be way weaker than you usually are, and way more tired. Certainly way more tired. Cognitively, you're going to be spent. You're going to be dead. If anyone is cut for like a significant amount of time, and I'm not talking you go from 25% body fat to 15. I'm talking like you go under 10% body fat and you're still cutting. You know how hard it is to train legs. I'm talking you do cardio every day, you barely take a rest day, you know how hard it is to train legs. Train legs hard. So I was very weak on the squats, and what I decided to do is, instead of lowering the weight to something that would essentially render no hypertrophy, what I would do is do the hack squat instead. So I went to the hack squats, I did 2 sets of the squat, now I'm doing 3 of the hack squats so I can get 5. First 2 sets I go hard as. Like, I go so hard. Okay? Like, beyond failure and everything. I failed the hack squat. How many people fail the hack squat? Like, you literally cannot get another rep on the hack squat. It's like the leg press. You can always pump out another rep. Well, I could not. Okay? Like, that's how hard I went. And I dropped it. I'm like, okay. I went to failure. I went crazy hard. 4 sets is enough. I took 1 plate off one side. I was about to take all the plates off and go to my next exercise. And then something just clicked. It's like, nah, man. You said 5 sets. And here's what I always talk about. Here's one of the main fundamental things I will always talk about in these videos. It will always come back to this. Your mind will find every possible excuse to not do something. Every excuse. And it will be valid. You will genuinely think of the excuse as being valid. The mind will tell you you're overtraining. You don't need to do another set. You've already done 14 sets for legs. That's perfect. You don't need to do any more. Everything will make sense. The mind will not give you excuses that you're gonna push away because they don't make sense. The excuses make sense, and they're valid excuses. Saying you might overtrain, you might hurt yourself, you're already gassed out, you're not gonna be able to do your next exercise. How are you gonna do calves after this? Your mind will I'm telling you, man, a lot of you think that you're being smart by not doing that extra set or that extra rep, but it's your mind. Because the past 3 or 4 leg days, what I've noticed is there is a barrier in front of you when you're training. This is especially evident on leg day. Back maybe as well, but like arms and shoulders, you don't really get this feeling. It's mainly back and legs, especially legs. If you're really tired, if you're exhausted, if your cognitive systems are tired, your CNS is exhausted, you're not eating much food because you're dieting, what your mind will do is it will make you feel groggy, and like you'll zone out, you'll feel like you're so tired after like 2 sets, and you keep pushing and you keep pushing, and it's really hard to push, but you keep pushing, and then slowly it gets worse as you're getting like, it's just like gravity gets heavier. Your mind just feels so foggy, you can't think, you're zoning out every 5 seconds, and then you go and do like a really heavy, really hard exercise, and what happens? You wake up. All of that exhaustion that you had from those other exercises, the brain fog, the zoning out, It was all created by your mind. It was not real. Even if it was real, you have to realize that what your mind does in these moments is it realizes that your body will not stop. And if you know that you will not stop doing something, your mind and your body will adapt to anything. And this is exactly what David Goggins preaches. This is one for one. I'm probably like completely verbatim speaking what he spoke. This is exactly what David Goggins says. This is why he was able to achieve what he achieved, is through this idea. If you have the mindset to push through anything, if you know you're going to do something and nothing is going to stop you, your mind and your body will adapt to anything. That's what I did today. So, as I said, I did 2 sets of the hack squat. So this is 4 total with the squat and the hack squat combined. I was about to put the plates away. I put it back on. I'm like, I'm doing another set. 5th set. And now one of my friends was doing like leg extensions across the gym, and he comes over to spot me mid-set. Just to clarify, I'm doing 5 plates on this hack squat, right? And so I do like, what, 8, 9 reps maybe? And the last rep, I swear to you, I was going like at least 5 seconds. I was like this. I was pushing, done. That was the last rep. Very hard. I think I was getting assisted as well. Guess what? I did a drop set. I dropped it to 3 plates, so I took 2 plates off each side. I kept going, and if you know what it's like to do a drop set on the hack squat, you know that it literally feels like your lungs are about to collapse. It feels like your heart is like gonna just burst out of your ears, if you know what I'm talking about. It is very cardiovascularly demanding. I dropped it to 3 plates. I did like, I don't even know how many reps. At this point, I was like, I couldn't even explain to you the kind of just pain is. It's not even pain. Like, I basically have an asthma cough right now because of that set. That's how insane it was. And it was like, I'm laughing because it was so cool to look back on. Like, I did this. So I did 3 plates. I went crazy, right? The last few reps I couldn't even get. And then my friend spotting me is like, drop it. Let's go again. I'm like, what? Are you joking? Like, I'm about to die. There's no way I'm going to do this. And so we drop it and I go to 2 plates and I'm going. The last few reps, he's pulling the entire thing. Like, I'm barely contracting anything. Like, I am in a mess. I am screaming like I'm getting tortured. The gym was crowded too. Like, I was getting tortured. I was screaming like I was getting tortured. Man, I wish I recorded this set too. But yeah, so we did 2 plates. I barely did it. And guess what? Dropped again. 1 plate on the hack squat. I started with 5. I've done 7 on this hack squat. I did 1 plate. And so I was just going and going and going. And when I finished that set, I literally thought I was about to pass out. Like, I couldn't even believe it. I wasn't even alive. I was like unconscious. So this little story I'm giving you here. By the way, I went back and I did my RDLs, 4 or 5 sets, finished RDLs as well. Went crazy on those. So yeah, no quitting the workout. I never quit the workout. I did everything I said I was going to do, and I finished the workout, and I left feeling the best I've ever felt. I could barely walk home, but I did. Moral of the story is, your mind will do anything if you push your body past the limitation it puts on you. And you can always train harder in the gym. You think you can't. You think, oh, I'm going to failure. I'm doing my partial reps. I'm doing drop sets. I'm getting sore. No, man. You can train harder. You can train harder. I can train harder. Tom Platz can train harder. Think about it. There's always more in the tank. If you have that mindset. It's the same thing with self-improvement and like life in general. There's always more. There's always more that you can do. And if you have this mindset that you can always train harder, you won't really plateau ever. Yeah, maybe when you're 40 years old and you lose your testosterone and everything, but you won't really plateau because you will always have a metric for increasing the stress on your body, so it forces your body to create new muscle, to create new recovery, because the stimulus is consistently getting harder. So if you're stuck right now in the gym, or even if you're not stuck, you feel like you can push a little harder. Push harder. You can do it. You think you're training hard enough in the gym, but you are not. You might be training hard enough, okay? But you're not training to your maximum capacity, because guess what? You don't have a maximum capacity. Your maximum capacity is when you're lying on the ground unconscious. That is your max, okay? So until that happens, I'm not encouraging you kill yourself in the gym, but until you're like basically dead, you have not reached your limit in terms of intensity. So next time you go to the gym, train as hard as you possibly can. Train harder than you ever have. And I hope it's on leg day, because don't skip your legs, bro. But yeah, you can always train harder. Your mind will adapt to anything, any stress, as long as you know you're going to go through with it till the end. Thank you for watching the video. Reject mediocrity, embrace mastery. See ya, bro. Don't skip leg day.